Yesterday, we all received the incredibly sad news of the Queen's passing. After 70 years on the throne, she leaves an incredible legacy behind, and King Charles III takes the throne. But what does this mean for our coins and banknotes? Will they be changed? Will they become more valuable? And when can we expect to see King Charles III appear on our currency? Before we get into any of that, let me just say that none of this is surefire fact, but largely based on previous changes to the monarchy, some information from Royal Mint Experience tour guides, a little common sense, and maybe a large dollop of speculation. But I think we can make some pretty good estimations about what is going to happen now. First things first, contrary to popular belief, the Queen's coinage will not be actively removed from circulation by the Royal Mint or cash centres. The Queen's coinage will continue to circulate alongside the new coins of King Charles III. Prior to decimalisation in 1971, coins from as far back as the reign of Queen Victoria were still actively circulating. The 1 penny, for example, could be regularly found with 5 different monarchs on the obverse: Queen Victoria, King George V, King Edward VII, King George VI, and of course Queen Elizabeth II. Though it is worth mentioning that a metal reclamation programme is already underway at certain cash centres and has been for quite a while now, where they are removing older 5p and 10p coins, all made before 2011. Reason being, they were made of relatively expensive copper and nickel. Since then, they've been moved over to a steel planchette or core and then a nickel plating, which is much more cost effective. So when we see our new king on coins, this is where we get a bit more speculative, because the real answer here is that nobody really knows outside of the Royal Mint or Treasury. However, it is fairly safe to assume that we won't see circulation coinage bearing Charles's portrait until 2023, though ultimately this boils down to demand for coinage from the cash centres. The Royal Mint holds many coins in storage in anticipation for their requirement. We know, for example, that there are still 2020 dated Shield 50p yet to circulate, with a reported mintage figure announced of over 46 million, though very, very few have been spotted in circulation, so they are presumed to still be in storage for the most part. Also, the Pride 50p and potentially the Alan Turing 50p coins have allegedly been earmarked for circulation too. How many of those are awaiting dispatch from the Royal Mint's long store? We aren't quite sure. The real point here is that there should be plenty of Queen Elizabeth II circulation coins still in storage to last us the rest of the year and perhaps even well into next year and beyond. Commemorative coinage. Now this is where it does get really tricky, because we were expecting many new releases this side of the new year, from Harry Potter 50p coins to the 25 years of the bimetallic £2 coin set and much more besides. I think, and this is just my thoughts, I think that we will see Charles's effigy on any new commemorative releases from now on. For example, if there is any coinage created to celebrate the Queen's reign and life, potentially this year, it wouldn't really make much sense to me for the Queen to be on both sides of the coin. A guarantee that I can give you is that the annual coin set for 2023, when released in the new year, will have all of the coins struck with King Charles III's portrait on them. And any coins struck from then onwards will of course bear that same portrait. Though there are already some anomalies worth mentioning when it comes to this, because for some reason, I don't know why, the Royal Mint strikes some coins towards the end of the year with next year's date on them. So that means we have already seen 2 designs released with a date of 2023 and featuring the Queen's portrait. Coins in question are the Royal Tudor Beasts Yale of Beaufort and the Lunar Year of the Rabbit coins, with many different releases, from cupronickel £5 bunk coins to 5-ounce gold-proof versions. These coins could be looked back on as a real anomaly in the future, so perhaps a worthy investment? If I'm correct and all future releases will have Charles on them, then the Lunar Year of the Rabbit was potentially the last coin issued with the Queen's portrait on the obverse. We can also, of course, expect Charles's portrait to face to the left, keeping with tradition. The next monarch always faces the opposite direction to their predecessor. Banknotes. Here the speculation continues, I'm afraid, but at some point in the future we will of course see banknotes featuring King Charles III released into circulation. Whether the notes with the Queen on will continue to be accepted in shops for years to come remains to be seen, but there's certainly no need to panic because banknotes of any age are always able to be paid in at banks. And if the Queen's notes are to be withdrawn, then I'm sure we will receive plenty of notice before it happens, much like the recent move from the paper currency to the new polymer notes. As well as UK currency, of course, the death of the Queen impacts the Commonwealth as a whole. Canada and Australia are, of course, the largest Commonwealth realms who have the Queen's effigy on their coinage. We can expect to see similar trends, as discussed previously, with these countries too, unless they take this opportunity to move away from having a monarch on their coinage, like Jamaica previously. But again, this is pure speculation, and personally, I do hope to see King Charles III appearing on coinage of the Commonwealth realms in the future. But who knows what New Zealand, Belize, Tuvalu, and all the other nations have planned. Thanks for watching. Thank you to Her Majesty for her service to us all, and long live the King.